Hi everyone and welcome to my new video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Mercedes and its ACL. I'm going to be working on these W204 chassis, but most of the Mercedes cars that have this type of key have ACL inside of them. So how I said before, I'm going to show you the procedure that we need to follow in order to remove the ACL from the car. Firstly, what is an ACL? The ACL stands for electronic steering lock, and actually how the name suggests, it locks and unlocks the vehicle's steering wheel. So how it actually works: when we put the key inside of the slot, and how you can hear the ACL unlocks the steering wheel, and we can drive the car. But sometimes when the ACL fails, I'm going to be talking about the parts. The ignition switch, or the electronics that is inside of the ignition switch expects an information from the ACL. And if the ACL, for whatever reason, fails, we are not going to be able to start the car, or the ignition switch and the electronics that is inside of the AZS will not send a command to the other car's modules to start the car and start the engine. So that would be the symptoms of a bad ACL. We are not going to be able to start the car. Even if we put the key inside of the slot and turn it, we are not going to be able to start the car. So I'm going to be talking about how we can diagnose. We can read it through the DTCs. So we've got to scan the car's modules and read the errors, and we are going to see that the ACL is failing. So most of the times the error will be written. So we are going to have a permanent error. So we are going to know that the ACL has a problem. The parts that are inside of the ACL, we have a motor. I'm going to put somewhere on the video an image from the motor. So most of the times the motor fails. So imagine all the time when we put the key and pull out the key from the ignition switch, the motor works, and there is no question about that whether it is gonna fail. So it must fail because it works all the time. We have a mechanism, a plastic mechanism that is used to move that part that goes inside of the steering column, and also we have a PCB. So if the motor fails, we can just replace the motor. They're not expensive. We can just replace the motor. Sometimes the PCB fails. Most of the times the micro testers that register the position of the part that goes to the steering wheel column, sometimes those micro testers fail, so we can just resolder new ones, and it is gonna work. But if the PCB fails, we can test some of the components, but there is a microchips and microcontrollers and so on. Maybe a better choice is to install an emulator. And to install an emulator on this W204 chassis, we've got to program the emulator. On some older vehicles, Mercedes vehicle, we can just plug in, and that is going to be it. But on these 204 chassis, we've got a program, and we're gonna pair the ACL with the AZS, and that's basically it. So let's get started towards the procedure. That I filmed. So I already did it on this car, and I'm gonna share the procedure how we can remove it. And after that, you're gonna decide what you're gonna do with your ACL. So let's get started. Before I start, I want to say that if you like electronics and these types of fix things videos, so subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. So thank you for that. So firstly, we've got to remove the plastic that is under the steering column. We've got 3 bolts that can be unscrewed with T15 Torx mil socket. The method that I'm going to show you can be used if the ACL gets stuck on an open position. After removing the plastic, we've got to loosen these 4 bolts with E12 Torx socket. We've got 2 of them towards the car's engine. Here they are, and we've got 2 of them towards the car's steering wheel. Just loosen them up, leave a couple of threads in order to be able to, move this part of the steering column a little bit downwards in order to be able to access the ACL. You will see where it is located. I found it harder to loosen this bolt towards the right part of the steering column, and I used some extensions with my ratchet handle, and I finally found a way to did it through this hole. After loosening the 4 bolts, here is the location of the ACL. I'm going to put an image from an already dismantled steering wheel column, so you will see where it is located in a better way. But we've got to remove completely this nut that secures the ACL to the steering wheel column, and we've got to use a 13mm standard socket. It is a little bit harder to be achieved, but it is achievable. After removing the nut, we can press the part that secures the ACL to the steering wheel column and pull the ACL towards the car's roof. So just pull it up. Here is the removed ACL. So this is the part that is movable, so we can move this part, we can press it when the ACL gets stuck on an open position with battery disconnected. Here is the location of the ACL. It stands like that. We can press that part and pull it up. So we can press it and pull it up. So that was everything that I've got, guys. So thank you for watching, and we're gonna see each other in one of our next videos. Bye bye.